from a little over a decade ago. I think this is important to go over today in the context of where we're at with our buddy and our pal, Aaron M. Holt. Now, we've read this on the show before. Moody brought it back up to my attention because there's some interesting stuff in here. This is in the Litchfield Independent Review. This, of course, is where April is from. Bing. And wow, what a difference a decade makes. But when we are seeing this current level of panic from Aaron M. Holt on a daily basis, it's ramping up. It's getting crazy. He's losing friends. He's losing loved ones. You know, he doesn't know who to trust anymore. His audience is all but eradicated. We're left with a panicky Aaron M. Holt. And it's not just because the goal is diminishing. I think he's starting to realize, he sees his age in print. 37. We know this December he's 38. I think he's starting to realize he's not a radio man. He lucked into that job just like Chad Zumach. And he had it for a little while, and then he's done podcasting since. So he just keeps this idea in his head that he's a radio man. He's a radio man. He's got to get back to radio. He's obsessed with it. But with all the arrests and stuff, the stress, this is probably not going to happen anymore. But this article has something interesting in it. M. Holt attracts listeners, sometimes their disdain. May 15th, 2014, like I said, just over a decade ago. Aaron M. Holt discusses the problem of chin fat during his show May 8th at the studio in downtown Litchfield. His show is for KLFD AM 1410 is Friday, his last show. In the world of radio, being liked is overrated, Aaron M. Holt explained during an interview last Thursday, 1 hour before the start of his KLFD show, Aaron in the Afternoon. Huh. This guy. It's Aaron in the Afternoon. Cool name. M. Holt, 27. Hello. Compared radio to professional wrestling. Now, remember today, everyone else is into wrestling shit, not Aaron. He's loved this his whole life. Noting how fans love to boo their favorite bad guy wrestlers. When, while he doesn't characterize himself as a bad guy, M. Holt is fine with getting booed. If they're booing because you're not any good, that's a problem. But if they're booing because they're invested in what you're saying and they don't agree with it, that's good. You can make money with that. So you see how he manipulates his own mind. You see how he creates his domes of delusion over not only his fans, but himself. No, they're not booing because they don't like me. They're booing because they're so invested in what I'm saying and have an alternate opinion. They're booing because they disagree. They love me, but they're booing because they disagree with what I'm saying. Got it. Using a combination of humor, conversion, and provocation, Aaron M. Holt has built a large following in Meeker County. Holy shit. What are you going to do with all those people in Meeker? During his 7 years at the helm of the weekday show, both over the airwaves and on social media. But M. Holt's reign as the area's afternoon comedic relief comes to an end Friday. So you see how he was from age 20 years old to age 27 years old on the air on an AM station in Litchfield, April's hometown. April's high school takes a field trip to the radio station. April meets Aaron. They look at each other across the room. He's like, "You're too young. I really shouldn't. But put a pin in that." "I know I will." Meets her at a bar a couple years later when she's graduated high school. She's working in a factory. No chance of college for this bitch. She can't afford a 2-year degree like Aaron, so she goes straight off to the college. Aaron sees her at a bar He's on the radio in her hometown, in her home Meeker County. And again, she sees an opportunity. She sees a star. She sees an opportunity to go off with this rich man who can take her away from mama and the farm. Imholt's reign as the Aries afternoon comedic relief comes to an end Friday as he's accepted a new gig at another radio station, which he has so far declined to identify. He expects the format of his new show to be similar to Aaron in the Afternoon. Aaron in the Afternoon. I want one of those shirts. More than 20 people responded to his message posted on Facebook 2 weeks ago announcing his departure. In 2 weeks, he got 20 replies. A lot of people have been reaching out saying they don't want Aaron in the Afternoon to go. A lot of people have been like, don't go, Aaron, in the afternoon. I'd say 20. I'm truly going to miss your show and the debates you took on during your show. One listener, Sherry Stevenson, wrote, a totally real name. While not one to shy away from controversy, part of Imholt's appeal is his willingness to poke fun at himself, a trait that also comes in handy when dealing with criticism from listeners. Imholt was at his self-deprecating best last Thursday at the start of his show, confessing his chin, fat, and struggles to find a way to keep it out of photographs. No, it's not that your chin's fat. You don't have a chin. You've tried every facial hair pattern in the world. He told his listeners from KLFD's studio down in Litchfield. Imholt says his listeners belong to one of two camps, nice or savage. I don't mean savages in a negative way, like he said during an interview. I mean that in a very positive way. They're brutal. They're forceful. They make the best jokes. Except Citizen M. A relentless give and take with those so-called savages has allowed Imholt to push the boundaries of what qualifies as tasteful for Meeker County. He doesn't hesitate to tackle many taboo topics, going so far to describe discussions about him as fun. Hold on, you would hurt a child? The actual discussion of it is always a fun one to do at the radio, he said, adding the key to talking about is being able to emphasize or empathize with either side, whether pro-life or pro-choice or pro-wrestling. I like to talk about that issue. I like to talk about any issue that has a gray area. Guns are another one. KLFD listeners had to make an adjustment when Imholt arrived on the scene, acknowledged his boss and KLFD owner Steve Gretsch. He's talking about a lot of issues, and a lot of them aren't comfortable to be talked about. Imholt's success at amassing a large number of followers also brings him close to the edge of appropriateness. Gretsch noted. He had to kind of walk a fine line. He's always on the line, keeps us on our toes. Gretsch is reviewing applications in search of someone to replace him. He's got a talent to be able to talk for 4 hours or 5 hours. That's a talent. You don't know what you're getting with young kids. Hopefully we can groom them. We can work them. Woo. Not going to age well. Imholt came to KLFD near the end of his schooling at Brown College in Mendota Heights. A nauseating 19-year-old liberal, as Aaron put it. At the start, Imholt was taking classes at Brown in the morning and spending his afternoons at KLFD. For a few years, he played music as a part of his show, but eventually shifted to an all-talk format. During last Thursday's interview, he winced when talking about his first shows, stating he did a lot of hacky bits, such as countdowns and other attention-grabbing gimmicks. An old one, too. All right. This is why he's panicking. 2.9 thousand views on this morning's show, 2,000 views last night, 3.7 total yesterday. That's 32 hours old. 2.5, 4.2. You see him going up as we go back in time, right? 4s here. 5,000 views here. So it's people are sick of steel toe again. Again, this guy's life has been so sensationalized between the divorce, the subsequent arrests, the violations of restraining orders, the revelation of abuse charges, the arrest for a separate, complete felony, sex crime, both pending trials for his ex-wife, Nick Rekieta, Kayla Rekieta, the Kayla Rekieta hearing tomorrow. I believe tomorrow morning is Aaron's court. Now, I heard that he was on his stream saying he's taking tomorrow off for vacation. No, he has court tomorrow. Aaron has court tomorrow. He has a hearing for his Kayla Rekieta revenge sex felony. Remember? So he's not taking a vacation tomorrow. He's got court for felony charges for disseminating nude photos of a woman without her consent. He told everybody this morning he's taking a vacation day tomorrow. For court. Remember when I said I was going to go? Yeah, so he's been keeping it really, really hush-hush. So anyway,